Yeah, I'm not really sure. I feel like this whole will they, won't they cop procedural drama got really old around the first season of Bones or Castle, whenever you were really interested in this stuff and it still felt new and exciting. I'm not sure if this show really deserves anybody's attention, but I think there are some good parts about it and some bad parts about it. And you know what? Let's just jump right into it. Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Okay, so Whiskey Cavalier. And before I jump into this, I have to say, the only real reason I'm excited about this show is because for anyone who's been a fan of The Walking Dead for the last couple seasons, especially over the last couple years, realizes that Lauren Cohan was being set up to be the main person of the show, at least at some point. And then she started asking for more money, and the producers of The Walking Dead and AMC and everybody was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And she left. I mean, she left in a nice way. Her character's still alive. She's willing to come back and all the other stuff. That's basically nonsense at this point, but she ended up leaving because she wasn't being treated in the best way possible. And at least that's the narrative that we have been told over the last couple months. And I feel like after watching this show, I feel like there must be something more, because we don't really know anything about the contract negotiations or the deal that she got to be in Whiskey Cavalier. And if this show blows up, I'm sure she's going to be making a ton of money. That could have been the entire narrative for this contract negotiation that she was in. But I have to say, the character of Maggie Ree and everything that she was doing within The Walking Dead was so much more compelling than what this show has any future potential to be. This episode is by the numbers, and simply, you've seen it before, you'll see it a million bajillion times. This is the stuff that sells, and we're just going to put it on screen because this is what all the people who watch network television anymore, the dumb people who watch network television, episodic, really boring shows want to watch. This is why Bones lasts for 11 seasons. And I'm not really bagging on Bones or Castle or anything else like that. I mean, for God's sakes, the show literally stops everything that it's doing to make you realize that there is sexual tension between the two main characters the first time that they meet. They have a third character within the car tell everyone that there is sexual tension between the main male character and the main female character, and that is going to be the driving force between this entire show. Not even to mention the fact that the main male character from the very first moment of the show is dealing with his belief of true love. The female character doesn't believe in true love, and that he has just recently broken up with a woman that he believes was his true love. That's the type of show we're dealing with. And it's just laid on very thick within the very first episode, and it's cringeworthy. We're in the golden age of scripted television, and we're still getting shows like this. Formulaic, not really anything going on, and even with all of that being said, still not offering anything within the first episode that makes me want to watch it and feel like it's differing itself from the crowd. And I feel like the one thing I need to throw in there would be, NBC's The Blacklist, because even though that show has had ratings problems over the last couple of years, the first season, especially the first episode, starts with such a bang that you're like, holy cow, I need to keep watching this show. What exactly is going on? The chemistry between these characters and the way that they're building this relationship is unlike anything that I've seen before. Whiskey Cavalier is nothing like that. In fact, it's trying so hard to be cutesy that it feels just a little overblown. And it's weird to me because Lauren Cohan, she's the only one that I feel has genuinely come into this episode, or at least this series at this point within the first episode, with the idea that I've been doing this other show for a long time. It's a depressing, dirty, grimy show, and I want to do something a little bit more dignified, fun, lighthearted and have fun filming my everyday life. Like I want to have a better career than what I've had over the last couple of years. And she comes in, and I feel like she's the only person within the entire first episode of the show that is giving it 150%. You can see in her performance that I want this show to succeed. I want to give it my all, even though I'm not the main focus of the first episode. And I want people to really gravitate towards this show. And it really comes across every single scene that she's in. And I feel like if there's anything that you can really grab onto, is that. Everything else just kind of falls flat for me. Scott Foley, he's kind of fun. The opening scene of him running through Paris and trying to negotiate the Ebola deal and everything, that's fun. Seeing him get shot, really kind of building up the whole Whiskey Cavalier thing, fine. I'm totally okay with this, and I see where they're going here, but it just, I've seen this stuff before, and it's just, I don't know, like very little creativity to this entire series, and I'm not really sure how far this show is going to go if it doesn't really recreate itself within the first couple episodes. Now, it's only a 13 episode run for this first season, and especially NBC has a lot of faith in this project, giving it a sneak peek after the Oscars, which, I won't go into another video with this, but I feel like the Oscars was a huge disappointment this year, other than the fact that they were able to get it done really quickly without a host, so maybe they shouldn't really have a host anymore. But at the same time, what they voted for, even though some of the nominations are pretty awesome, it's just other things were a completely waste of time. And I feel like Green Book winning the Best Picture was also a huge waste of time, and I'm sorry that I took so much time to watch the thing, but that is completely besides the point. This is what they wanted to put front and center right after the ratings boost that they would get for the Oscars and get people interested in. And I have to say, I want this show to be successful, because after the first episode, I feel like there might be some potential there, but with everything that they put forth in the first episode, I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to wait to see what they do with the second or third, fourth or fifth episode, because it's 13 episodes this season. I have to just say, we are past that day and age where you can have a television show find its legs within the second or third or maybe even fourth episode and have people still interested to see what's coming next. There's chemistry here between Lauren Cohan and Scott Foley. I want to see that kind of blossom, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. I feel like they're going to take too much time to build that up, and the episodes are going to feel too episodic at points to make it feel like there's anything happening between one episode or another, make it kind of disposable, and people aren't going to want to get invested. And to me, I feel like that's a huge problem. Television, at least in my opinion, has become way more straightforward. If you can't binge something, it's not really worth waiting a month, maybe even more of a month and a half to get truly invested in characters and into a show when you have to wait for one episode every single week. We want instant gratification here, and I don't think this episode really brought it to the table. Of course, I want to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you feel like Whiskey Cavalier showcased enough to you where you're like, oh man, I want to see how they continue this show, these characters, this dynamic, this team that they've been building up in the first episode, which I feel like was just kind of strung together with friends of our main characters and someone that they were after throughout the entire episode. It's like, you are our best people, so you're all in a team together because this is something that we've been planning. It's like, no, like these two people are friends, and this is the guy that they were hunting throughout the entire episode for being a traitor, and you just kind of threw them all together. There's no real reason for them to be together other than the fact that the show needs them to be together, and that's one of the biggest issues that this episode has. And I'm not going to go into too much spoiler territory or anything, because I know that this is just a sneak peek and it's airing very late on a Sunday night because a lot of people are probably missing the episode. They're not going to get to it until tomorrow if they DVR'd it, or they're just going to simply wait for it to be on Hulu on Thursday or Wednesday premiere. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail. I might rewatch it on Wednesday just to kind of get an idea of what this whole television show is going to be about and what we're going to get into, but I'm not really sold on it right now. And I wanted to throw that out there just really quick. Who else feels a little bit betrayed by all of this and wants this to be a better show than what they're showing us? Or at the same time, who is really excited about it, who thinks that it was a fantastic premiere and you can't wait to see what they do with it with the rest of the season? To me, it's a little bit forgettable. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. And also go down to the description section below, hit that link, and go follow me on Twitter to talk to me about Whiskey Cavalier, The Walking Dead, or any other thing that I talk about on this channel or my other channel. I hope everyone, like I said, has been having a fantastic day. Spin around.